speaker, ladies and gentlemen, and I think this is the most important speaker today here, and that is Mr. Michael Worsnip. He's the Chief Director for Restitution Support in the Western Cape. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Michael Worsnip.
Good afternoon, everybody. Assalamu alaikum. We're with us. That's all my Afrikaans. All my Arabic as well. Madam Premier, Chairperson of the Working Group, Ministers of Religion, others distinguished guests, prospective claimants. I understood for the first time in my working government today why it is usual to have politicians speaking last. Because if you don't do that, then they steal your thunder completely. So I have nothing to say. If I could just add a little bit here and there to what the Premier has said. You know, it is the most extraordinary privilege for me to work in the job that I do. To be part of the process of undoing the damage and the chaos and the hurt that was inflicted upon all of our people. You cannot imagine what a privilege this is. You cannot imagine. Every single day, people phone me because they were not included in the previous lodgement process. Every single day. It can be sometimes 2 people, sometimes 20 people, sometimes 50 people. I get emails because people were not included in that process. And so therefore, it is a great joy that the government has taken, our democratic government, has taken the decision based on the fact that so many people were excluded from that process for whatever reason. That could be because they never knew about it, because they never heard about it, because they didn't believe in it. So many people were excluded from that process. And the government has taken the decision that they must now be included. Restitution is one of the great successes of our democratic government. It is one of the reasons, and I would venture to say one of the main reasons, that we have peace in this land. Dignity, and that is part of my job. Every day I sign papers when people's dignity is restored to them, when people's land is restored to them, when a token is restored to them. Every day, that is my job. Can you imagine, ladies and gentlemen, can you imagine what that must feel like? To be able, every day I get up, I go to work, and every day I sign a piece of paper and somebody gets their land back, and somebody gets financial compensation. So Premier, you can keep your job. My job is much better. So, as I was saying, the law has gone through Parliament, it has gone through the National Council of Provinces, it's gone through public participation, it is waiting on the desk of the President for signature, and we have asked the President to sign it, if possible, on the 1st of July this year. Now, the reason why we asked for the 1st of July is because within the law, it is open for a 5-year period. And it would be from that would be the date when the 5-year period would close. So we have asked the President to sign it on the 1st of July, and that is what I think is going to happen. But I mean, I'm not the President, so I can't say. But that is what the request has been. We have in the Restitution Office, we have opened up another office especially designed for receiving claims in Mowbray. We've also opened up another one in George, and we will be opening one up in every single district in the Western Cape. This is partly to enable the fact that you will be able to very easily be able to go to lodge your claims. And if I can just say, don't all rush there on the 1st of July. It is going to be a very long queue on the 1st of July. You've got 5 years to do it. Now, this time round, it is going to be very different from what was the case before. Firstly, I think that we have learnt our lesson. We are going to publicize this thing everywhere. We are going to go to the farms. We are going to go to the small villages. We are going to go to the remotest of the remote places. And we are going to have a mobile truck that enables people to lodge their claims there, right there, so that people don't have to go anywhere else. The major message which we will be giving is, we will come to you. So that is the way we're going to do it. The next thing that is going to be very different this time is the way in which claims are going to be lodged. Previously, what happened was there were claims that were lodged on claim forms. Those forms could be doled out by people who would say, give me 50 Rand and I will give you a claim form. And it was done all over the country. All over the country, people got rich on the restitution process. They would dole out forms, they would collect them in, they would then become the gatekeeper for the claims. So you could only deal through them to the office. This is nonsense. There are no longer going to be paper claims. You will never have to write a claim on a piece of paper. And if anybody asks you to, they are lying. From now on, from the way in which the claims are going to be lodged coming now, you have to lodge your own claim. Personally. You have to go yourself to lodge the claim. Otherwise, there's power of attorney. Sure, there's no problem about that. But if people are too old or too infirm or whatever, they can get powers of attorney, they can get people to represent them. But the claim is individually lodged. It will be done electronically. So there will be no more fiddling about with bits of paper that can get lost, etc., etc., etc. It will be done electronically, it will be stored electronically, and there will be no more manipulation of the information that is on the claims. And I think the reality is we're a long way in the digital age. We are a long way away from 1994. And we have to capitalize on that. So when you go to lodge your claim, you will bring, and we will tell you what kind of information to bring with you. We'll give a list, a citizen's manual that is being produced. It will be widely distributed. We will print it in the newspapers. We will publish it wherever we possibly can, in libraries, in community halls, in churches, in mosques. We will let the citizen's manual go right throughout the country, and you will have access. You will go. You will know what you need to bring with you if you've got those particular pieces of paper or documentation. So when you lodge your claim, most of the information that you need to have will be with you. Of course, there will be some stuff that you haven't got, but there will be most of the information, ID number, etc., 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 the earth number or whatever it was, will come with you, and you will lodge it there and then. That information will be included in your claim form, in the form, in the electronic form that is given. So half of the work will be done. And that is a very important thing, because what I have found, in the short, I've been there 3 years now, in the short time that I have been there, what I found is that most of the problems, most of the delays, get caused by wrong information on the claim forms. So we will have skilled people sitting there who will be able to guide you through the process of lodging your claim. They will then, at the end of it, when you've lodged your claim, there and then you will get a printout saying that you have lodged your claim. So there will be no confusion, no lost claims that disappear. You will get a piece of paper which you will keep, which will prove that you have lodged that claim. This is a very difficult process. We really do expect that it will be much quicker than the process before. But you know, that having been said, I always want to remind people that Germany is still doing restitution today. Germany is still doing restitution today. Because you know, the damage that was inflicted was so vast that it's very difficult to say 5 years and we're finished. So it may be that the process will continue for a long time ahead. But we will try, as officials, we will try to make the process as painless as it possibly can this time round. Can I also just end by saying that, by echoing what the Premier said, and that is that we have had absolute cooperation from the Western Cape, from the province and from the city. We work together as a troika. Even through the elections, there was no problem, no issue. We worked together. There's been a guarantee on the part of all parties that restitution will be kept, that restitution will be kept as its own issue, as a national government issue, in which we are all participating. So it is not a political football. It is something that the people of South Africa have determined is our way forward. And that is the way it is, and I can testify to it. And the very last thing I would like to say is, organization is always a good thing. When it is good organization. When it is bad organization, it is always a bad thing. Make sure that your organization is good organization. And you will do that by being open, by being transparent. That is the only way. Anything else leads to disaster and to even more chaos into the mix. This time around, in the putting forward of claims, well, let me say, last time, what I'm doing at the moment is, if somebody put in a fraudulent claim, and I discover that that claim is fraudulent, I say, that wasn't very honest of you. You shouldn't have done that. The person concerned looks a little bit embarrassed and leaves. This time round, the law empowers me to be able to charge that person and to send them to jail. And I want to guarantee that that is precisely what I'm going to do. So please, I'm not suggesting you would do it, but if you know of other people who would do it, advise them against it, because they will find themselves in jail. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Michael Worsnip.